Hello viewers and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. We continue to take a look on what's happening in the nation of Zimbabwe without fear, without favor. And this time around, we are taking a look on a very sensitive story. Remember, a lot is happening in the nation of Zimbabwe at this point in time. Rutendo Matinyarare, a ZANU PF Apologist, and Murakashi, he said something very important, but this is exposing his boss, Emmerson Mnangagwa. Remember, he's been working for Emmerson Mnangagwa for a very long time. And he claims to be the face yakanga iripo ichirwisa ma-sanctions. We know that it was the Americans who made the decision to drop the executive order sanctions on Zimbabwe, but they claim kuti ndivo vakaita kuti zviitike. So let us delve straight to this matter and understand what is happening. Rutendo says, for the past 7 months, Mutuli Ncube has been asking the US government to tell banks and companies that they have removed the sanctions on Zimbabwe so that they can do business with ZIM. But while he is trying to get the US government to market him, his own government paid protesters at the UN to decampaign Zimbabwe by saying ZIM is still under sanctions, which chased away bankers and investors. So instead of investing in PR and brand building to tell the world that ZIM is open for business because sanctions have been removed, Zimbabwean government is doing opposite to isolate themselves. So if you look at this post from Rutendo Matinyarare, it's very important because it then goes in line with what we have been saying. Zimbabwe is not failing because of anything else. It's not about sanctions. It's about corruption tendencies of these people. It's about, if these companies come to Zimbabwe, these people know for sure that they are going to be exposed because some of these companies will not tolerate the corrupt activities happening. In Zimbabwe, for you to run a mine, unotobuda mari yakawanda. For you to run a business, to invest in Zimbabwe, unorowa chekuseri nevakomana, you want to invest in Zimbabwe and you are told kuti ubvadhare choko momwe. These are things which you have seen happening. And like Minister of Mines Masvingo, I have challenged anybody to say, go to Minister of Mines Masvingo and see what is happening there. Go to Minister of Mines Mashonaland East and see what is happening there. We are not talking about issues which are not, things which are not happening. We are talking about things which are happening right here in Zimbabwe. Things which are being experienced right here in Zimbabwe. So when we talk about these issues, we are not joking. We are serious about these issues. It's because these things are happening right here in Zimbabwe. Emmerson Mnangagwa hired thugs to go to America to go and protest, and these thugs were protesting in America, and they were holding placards, remove sanctions on Zimbabwe. And you expect companies to come to Zimbabwe when you are doing such a thing. There is no way America is going to say they don't have relations with you. They don't. There is no way America is going to market Zimbabwean brand. It's about you, Zimbabwean government. What you do, you market yourself. When you want to get married, it's you who must know what men want, which will make you get a better man. It's not otherwise. You do not expect to see the government of America going and saying Zimbabwe is now open for business. They will never do that. It's you, Zimbabweans, who must do that. It's the government of Zimbabwe which must do that. Things must be seen. Go onto any government website and see if they are transparent. Go and try to figure out ways to register a company. You can't go onto a government portal and apply to register a company in Zimbabwe. You need to physically visit Harare or work with these dubious agents, for them third parties, for you to be able to register a company. In other countries, you simply go onto a website, you register a business there. Everything is authenticated online. But in Zimbabwe, You need to travel to Harare even if you are a resident of Zimbabwe. If you don't do that, you have to pay an agent who is going to milk you a lot of money. Less than 45% will go to the coffers of the government, and 65% of the registration process will go into the pockets of third parties, individuals. This is a business. So you can actually see that there is nothing which will move as long as those things are happening. And up page Zimra, and up page Zinara, and see how you are going to struggle on their websites. Their websites are useless. There is less information, and that information is useless. In Zimbabwe, you cannot apply for a birth certificate online. Imagine a Zimbabwe where you can apply for a company online, where you can apply for a birth certificate online, where you can do almost everything online. Imagine that Zimbabwe. For those who purchased the Starlink, they know that it didn't take even an hour for them to place an order. Within 15 minutes, you are done. The only delay you might face is maybe when networks are low and you can banks cannot process transactions. But everything on the side of Starlink is efficient. In Zimbabwe, before Starlink, there's a company called Tel1, which was offering Utelsat services. You would have to visit their branch wherever it is physically. And guess kuti zvazichita mari. You be told kuti parkuda 150 for chakazodaro, then you are told kuti parkuda another 580 for installation and nezvimwe. Where are you going to get that 150 or 130, whatever? Where are you going to get such kinds of money? You'd see that a lot of people right now go to Harare. Harare is now at capacity in terms of Starlink. Why? It's because in Harare it's very, very difficult for you to get cheap internet, for you to get stable internet, for you to get fast internet. So you'd see that Zimbabwe, guys, everything is down. Yet vanhu vanongotaura kuti nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. Nyika haivakwi nepropaganda. Nyika inovakwa nechokwadi chiri kuitika paground. Let us be honest. Emerson Mnangagwa and his team, they failed Zimbabwe. There is a guy anonzi anyway Mtambudzi anoshanda muoffice kwapresident. Ameno chichichi kuti ndi director wechi kana kuti ndichi ikoko, but is a very powerful man who is part of the key decision making processes in Zimbabwe in the office of the president. That guy is clueless. If you try to correct him kuti old man, you don't do A, B, C, D, anotokutuka. He thinks that he controls everything. He thinks that he knows better. He's an old man who asinacha with just access to the presidential offices and also access to a tablet and authority. But they know nothing. Look at all these people who are working in the president's office. What positive development do they bring? Nothing. Look at charlatans like Ananik Mangwana. These are the people who are supposed to be marketing brand Zimbabwe. But look at what he is doing. He is busy running propaganda on behalf of ZANU PF. A war government spokesperson running propaganda instead of him to market the brand Zimbabwe. At a certain point in time, you have to agree and admit, good guys, tatiri kumashure, but we are trying. Can you please help us to do A, B, C, D? That is being responsible. But when you deny everything, you become a charlatan and you become somebody who will never accept that you are wrong. You become somebody who will never ever admit that you are wrong. Where are we going as a nation with such kind of people? So what Rutendo Matinyara is saying right here, he is a ZANU PF charlatan who supports Emerson Mnangagwa. But he has realized that the people he's working with adandaidzi. Mthuli Ncube nechikwate chake they are total dandaidzi. Ndo vanhu vaifanira kupa an order yekuti guys no protest anymore about sanctions. They've been running around the world vachiti maprotest this maprotest that maprotest, even a company payaisagona kubatwa nemasanctions inongopedzisira yakutya kuti ava nemasanctions here ngatirege kushanda nawo. You have to positively market your country, and the country is not marketed by us, because the country must be marketed by those in government, and we compliment them. Us in the media, we must compliment the government efforts. This is the reason why Zimbabwe cannot be marketed anywhere. It's not marketable. Because you will say Zimbabwe is open for business, and somebody will come and say, I want to invest, and you'll be told, Shamari, sisu tirikudo 10% yedu, kune wakuru, vanozodawo yavo, saka make it 15. Then kune vamwe vanozoidawo futi, saka make it 20% of the total amount you want to invest. Iyo yonofana kuya, which means if you want to invest 200 million, 20 million, nde vakuru. What kind of a country is that? Who does that? So a lot of people will ask, what is the difference between other investors and the Chinese? Machina nech element chekuti they are always funded by the Chinese embassy. Ndo enenge iri pamberi pakuita zvese pakustrike madeals. And avatyi kukata. They always cut. But there are people who have operated in less corruption countries who want to protect their dignity and their integrity. They will never do such a thing. Where is Aliko Dangote? Aliko Dangote wanted to invest in Zimbabwe. He ran away because of corruption. He was asked, kuti tipe 20% imdara. 10% in devamwe, 10% in devamwe. You will never get investors. You will never. Look at how Starlink wanted to come to Zimbabwe, and they tried to bring on board an IMC. For what? For looting purposes. Oh, these companies, these are looting ventures. There is no company in Zimbabwe or government entity which cannot order directly from Starlink. If an individual can order, what about a company? What about the government? Akumborina zvana bureaucracy zvese zvinotaurirwa zviya. It's a matter of knowing how things work. There are procurement departments dziriko. It starts from the administration. Inonyora kuti tiri kuda an internet kit pakati. Yoenda ku procurement. Yobva ku procurement yoenda to the management. Management yo authorizer. Yoendesa after authorization from the management, it goes to finance. Yo financwa. After financing, administration yobva yapedzisa transaction yakuchisa ma details, shipping youya per specified address, which means every government entity can cut costs by simply ordering straight from Starlink. But they don't want, because there are certain people behind who must make money, so they will go through these bogus companies. That is Zimbabwe for you. Where are we going as a nation? So when we talk about incompetence, vano ava, they are very, very 100% incompetent. Havana chavanoziva. Havana chavanoziva vakomana ava. Timu iri matsotsi chete chete. We are dealing with clueless criminals who at a certain point in time belong to Chikurubi. Because as long as you are sabotaging an economy, you are sabotaging the healthcare, you are sabotaging the education, you are sabotaging the social lives of our people, you are sabotaging everything, the future of other generations. Where are we going as a country if things are like that? So we have to agree at a certain point in time that we don't have leadership in Zimbabwe. And up until we deal with this issue, then we are in trouble. So the only way is to have a different government altogether. We need a system overhaul. ZANU PF must simply collapse, must simply sink. They didn't win an election. They forced on themselves onto the people, and they destroyed the opposition twice. They've destroyed the opposition. And you ask questions. Why are you doing it? They don't have answers. Just utsinye chete. Varume vane utsinya ava. Kavanzwa vachitaura vanofungidzira kuti vane rudo izvo, they are simply going against what they are saying. Opposite direction always. It's time as a country we unite and talk with one voice. Petronella, thank you very much for coming, and thank you very much for the contribution. Let us meet in other episodes as well as other broadcasts.